The more invisible I become, the more death I have to endure. Chao Mu descended and said, "The words sword immortal just spoke were not only for your elder brother, but also for me, Chao Sen. Were they not? Since you know this place is a secret realm of an immortal sect, do you have some grievance with the immortal sects?" Sword Immortal Anan turned around and replied, "I do not know." Chao Mu broke into a cold sweat and fell silent. Then he pulled out a few books. My third granduncle once taught me the complete iron crotch technique. I have even deduced a new technique from it. If you do not mind, it was Yellow Dragon Exploring Clouds, Long Serpent Staff Technique, and Chrysanthemum Acupoints. Sword Immortal Anan blushed with excitement as he accepted the books. "I do not mind at all. From this day onward, I will work diligently to enhance the Chao family's martial arts and let them shine across the world." He grinned as he thought about beautiful, curvaceous women. Sword Immortal Anan said solemnly, "From now on, you are my second brother." Chao Mu replied, "My third granduncle was your elder brother. I am your second brother." "Then what about your own biological brother?" Sword Immortal Anan waved it off. "Is that not obvious? He is my third brother now." Chao Mu laughed. "What a good younger brother you are." He pulled out another book. "Additionally, I have created a unique technique by combining secret arts from the Far East. Are you interested?" His eyes sparkled. It was the Golden Finger. Sword Immortal Anan cried out with joy, "Yes, absolutely." Chao Mu said, "You are too kind, younger brother. I have long heard of your heaven-slaying sword technique." "You know what?" Sword Immortal Anan interrupted, "I understand. Let us exchange techniques then." He was drooling like a dog chasing after the book. "I will even pass down my ultimate killer move to you." Chao Mu raised an eyebrow. "An ultimate killer move?" Sword Immortal Anan nodded. "Once the sword is drawn, there is no return. The technique focuses the martial artist's essence, chi, and spirit into a single sword stroke, pushed to the extreme. That is the heaven-slaying sword technique. Physical strength, inner energy from the dantian, and the power of the mind. Only when a sword stroke draws from all three can one claim to have mastered it." Chao Mu responded, "Words are meaningless without proof. How about a demonstration?" He thought to himself, "Now you are starting to look like a real martial arts expert." Sword Immortal Anan grinned. "A demonstration? That is easy enough." He picked up a twig, and golden light began to glow from it. Raising it overhead, he declared, "Watch closely. This next sword stroke will be utterly magnificent." Golden energy flared around him. Chao Mu thought to himself, "I am about to witness the ultimate move of the world's #1 swordsman." Sword Immortal Anan's eyes glowed gold. He shouted, "Heaven-slaying sword technique!" and he swung the twig. Silence fell, a deafening silence. Chao Mu blinked. "This is the ultimate killer move?" Sword Immortal Anan calmly replied, "I have long since reached the realm of no sword in hand, and no sword in heart. What I just performed has form, but no spirit." Chao Mu muttered, "So for 30 years, you really were giving up on yourself, even trying to sheath a broken tree branch. Can you do anything other than pretending to look cool?" Sword Immortal Anan proudly declared, "I, the sword, am an immortal who always keeps my word. If I say I am slacking off, I will slack off with pride. I am definitely not some hypocrite sneaking in secret practice." He laughed loudly. "Ha ha ha ha. I am the poser king." Chao Mu deadpanned. What a great anti-productive fighter. He thought to himself, "But what are the mysteries of the heaven-slaying sword technique?" System notification. On death rating, A+ in Maining revival count this week. 15% and skill points awarded, 100% skill points. Remaining, 125 in blood and chi status, 90% heaven-slaying sword technique, loading. Chao Mu frowned. Even the system failed to load? Essence, chi, and spirit focused into one sword stroke to the extreme. That is the heaven-slaying sword technique. It requires channeling physical strength, inner energy, and mind. Mind. That is it. This is a sword technique that can only be practiced by cultivating the mind. Sword Immortal. Anan smirked and said, "Although my sword technique is strong, only by cultivating the mind can one truly begin. And I see that second brother is wise and valiant, elegant and imposing, handsome and talented, brilliant and noble, a pillar of the martial world, only lacking this small thing called cultivating the mind." Chao Mu asked, "Since brother swordsman is the #1 swordsman, is there a way to help me cultivate my mind?" Sword Immortal Anan nodded. "Of course." "Second brother, look behind you." Chao Mu turned. "Beauty statues? What about them?" Sword Immortal Anan explained. "To be honest, I was born with sword talent. Xiao Mu said, yes, I can tell. Sword Immortal, Anan continued. This place may look like an ordinary courtyard with only beauty statues, but it is actually a trial ground for cultivating the mind. Every beauty statue has a part of my sword intent and mental will embedded into it. Through meticulous arrangement of their positions and layout, I constructed a hidden formation. As long as second brother can break through this beauty courtyard and comprehend the sword intent that this younger brother left behind, you will naturally be able to cultivate your mind. However, because this younger brother is simply too much of a genius, the chance of second brother dying inside is far greater than successfully advancing. Zhao Shui and the others are very strong. Xiao Mu tossed the book aside and said, such a good opportunity. As your elder brother, I naturally cannot miss it. Xiao Mu walked away and muttered to himself, I am really looking forward to cultivating my mind and seeing what changes my techniques will undergo. I cannot even imagine how happy I will be then. Sword Immortal Anan said, then, second brother, be careful. He raised his finger and activated his technique, Great Wisdom Heavenly Dragon Formation. As he did, the stone bodies of the beautiful statues cracked and transformed into golden forms, now facing Xiao Mu. Sword Immortal Anan thought to himself, what a strange person. What is the point of sacrificing for others? Can you give me an answer, Chao Sin, or should I call you Chao Shuang Sin? And with that, he closed the door. Sword Immortal Anan continued thinking, but since you are not a beauty, it makes no difference to me. I just wonder if what you want to accomplish can really go as smoothly as you wish. Dinan a few moments later, in another place. Daojin looked at a talisman and said, Dao Shun is dead. Even though his bean soldier technique was not perfect, a single bean general should not have been defeated so quickly. The person who killed him was far stronger. Does Lone City even have someone that powerful? Moreover, Chao Shuangxin is also dead. Even the soul-detaining formation there could not trap his soul. It is happening again. I need to ask Master about this. Suddenly, an elder of the Great Path sect, Elder Qing Zhuo, appeared and said, Your master is in the imperial capital and has been very busy these days. It is best not to disturb him for now. Daojin said, Greetings, Senior Uncle Qing Zhuo. Elder Qing Zhuo nodded. You handled the matter of the King of Qin very well. He has already gained power. The next step is to partition land and grant titles, establishing another immortal kingdom on Earth within the central continent. Apart from the Xuantian sect in the southern continent, which suffered losses before, the other 8 great immortal sects also intend to do the same in other continents. Although this may seem trivial, it is still tied to the grand plan of the immortal sects and is of great importance. Senior brother Qing Yi is too busy to manage everything. We should do our best to help him carry the burden. Daojin responded, Yes, I will personally handle the matters in the Great Desert. Elder Qing Zhuo looked back and said, Daojin, are you really so interested in that mortal from the Chao family? A mortal whose soul cannot be detained is indeed unusual, but he is still a mortal. Either the Chao family members are soulless monsters, or they have been influenced by powerful experts. For instance, some mortals who believe in ancient gods have their souls polluted, such that formations cannot restrain them. You are fixated on this anomaly. Could it be that you cannot bear to see those people in the secret realm continue resisting, and you want to use the Chao family member to close the realm? After all, even though you are now a disciple of this sect, as someone who came from that place, you are the only one not allowed to enter the Great Desert secret realm, Daojin said. This disciple has never had such thoughts. If this matter does not require my action, does Senior Uncle have other plans? Elder Qing Zhuo smirked. Daojin asked, Is Senior Uncle planning to act personally? Daojin thought to himself. Qing Zhuo is one of the immortal sect elders who helped establish the Great Formation 40 years ago. He does not care much about Dao Shun or the Xiao family member. If he is acting personally, does he have another motive? Elsewhere, as Xiao Mu battled the alluring statue women, he thought to himself, although Sword Immortal said the strength of these statues should not be underestimated, each one has the strength of at least a second-grade spirit-refining martial artist. Does that even make sense? As he evaded a slash, Xiao Mu gripped his blood sword tightly and lunged, trying to stab one of the seductive stone ladies. He muttered to himself, They not only predict my attack trajectory mentally, but their physical reaction speed is even faster than mine. One of the statues slashed across Xiao Mu's stomach. Holding the fresh wound, Xiao Mu growled, Are these really just stone statues? The wound quickly began to heal. Xiao Mu released his blood sword and immediately activated his technique, Demonic Blood Ignition. He drove his fist into the stomach of the stone lady with explosive force. Then, striking the others in rapid succession, he shouted, "Men really need to be tough." He glanced at the remaining opponents and noticed their behavior. They're retreating now? Suddenly, the statue surged forward and surrounded him once more. As the lady struck distinct poses, Chao Mu narrowed his eyes. Is this a sword technique? Are they setting up a sword formation? He grinned. All right, I thought they were just second-grade fighters, but now it seems they are all first-grade experts. Then bring it on. At a branch overlooking the courtyard, Sword Immortal Anan watched intently. He entered the second round so quickly, he murmured. Theoretically, he should have first sensed the flow of my mind attached to the beauty statues. Only after dodging a round of killing moves would the second stage be triggered. He frowned, but because his blood and chi are too strong, and he destroyed the beauty statues, he triggered the next stage prematurely. I wonder if that is good or bad for someone who has not even reached spirit refining yet. Suddenly his expression shifted. This disgusting aura, it feels familiar, he sneered. Heh. You old geezer, you're finally here. He released a spirit pigeon and commanded, go, call that person here. And a few hours later in the morning, Chao Mu continued to battle the stone beauties. He thought grimly, the attacks are becoming more impenetrable. Before, I could use shadow steps to dodge and look for opportunities to counterattack. Now even dodging is extremely difficult. He slid across the ground, gathering force, and activated his technique. Ripple wave, fourth wave. He calculated silently. As long as their formation gets even slightly disrupted, I can take the opportunity to scatter them and defeat them one by one. But a darker thought crept in. What is the sword intent that Sword Immortal is hiding? Suddenly, multiple swords flew into the sky, spinning and merging. A massive golden blade formed overhead. Chao Mu looked up in disbelief. This! The sword plunged downward and pierced straight through his chest. A golden blade embedded itself deep into the ground as the impact shook the courtyard. The statues chanted in unison, confirmed death. But then, a voice echoed, Sisters, don't leave. Chao Mu stood upright, alive and well. With a wild grin, he said, let us have another round. He activated his technique. A system notification appeared. An in-death rating, B rank in resurrections remaining this week. 3 out of 5 in skill points awarded. 25% total skill points. 100. 50 Senshi in blood. 90% heaven-slaying sword technique. Loading, 20%. Chao Mu cracked his knuckles and said with anticipation, I was just getting the hang of it. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.